That is something that I did read, Loretta, about 2,000 rupees per family or so. Now, why did this initiative come up?
Okay, why we actually wanted to have this fundraising event was mainly to increase that allowance with the cost of living going up. The average was about 2,000. So the main purpose of this evening was, with all the funds that we're getting, we hope to increase that allowance. So that is our number one priority. And also to increase the number of patients and their families who we can maybe educate the kids, maybe have projects for them.
And I also saw that you want to raise at least 1 million for 2013, which is great, and I certainly hope you do, because it is indeed a noble cause. So as a final reminder, Amila, would you just tell the audience out there why this is important, and just the details about the show before we wrap up?
Yes, it's for awareness basically, and I think we need to emphasize the fact that it's something that can be cured if detected early, and it's important that medication be taken. So we want them to have that facility to get the medicine, and we want to be able to reach out to the families and the children in particular, and let them be part of society rather than being shunned and being treated as outcasts. And about the show itself, it's on the 23rd at the Cinnamon Grand, and we're starting at 7:30, and it's definitely going to be an evening of fun and surprises. And tickets are priced at 1,500, available at the Surol office in Narayanpeta.
Yes. Narayanpeta. And thank you very much, Eloy and ladies, for being on the show, and I wish you all the best with your project and your courses and your 2013 objectives, and thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Indeed a pleasure. So with that, we'll wrap up the interview and we'll go to a quick break on Good Morning Sri Lanka. Hello and welcome back to Good Morning Sri Lanka after that interesting interview. More than interesting, I think it is important that we recognize the importance of the cause. Something that most people really don't know about is whether there is even a leper community in Sri Lanka, and of course we have to understand that there are persons such as Eloy and Loretta and Amila who are involved, and their personal contribution to such things, and it would be a great pleasure for them, for you to make your way to Cinnamon Grand on the 23rd of February and indeed make your contribution to this noble cause. And also, of course, we had some interesting stories. Now this one is particularly interesting, where we had an Indonesian maid accused of poisoning a baby, escaping the Saudi death penalty. Now that story is of course absolutely interesting, because we know what exactly happened to the Sri Lankan maid Rizana Nafiq, who was executed in Saudi Arabia for a similar offence in the Saudi Arabian legal regime, and of course what reasons the maid has escaped it, we don't really know. And with that, we have some interesting news from Japan, where the unemployed are getting jobs, and it's a very innovative way to get them, and let's have a quick look.
More than 1,000 Japanese students gathered at a rally on Wednesday, screaming, shouting and singing to muster enthusiasm for the annual job hunt. They said they hoped this rally, arranged by a group of local colleges, would be the boost they needed to make it through Japan's tortuous job-searching season. Almost every major Japanese company participates in the annual mass hiring ritual that dates back to the country's post-war economic miracle, when skilled workers were in short supply and companies began hiring graduates in bulk. Between early December, when big companies start advertising entry-level positions, and April, when they make offers to fourth-year students, each student will typically send up to 100 or more applications, attend dozens of presentations, and endure multiple interviews with 20 to 30 prospective employers. Students typically don black suits and white shirts, lining up en masse outside company headquarters ahead of their interviews. 19-year-old Haruka Takahane said, "I'm really bad at answering questions I get asked in interviews, so I'm kind of stuck at the moment about how I can improve that." Competition is fierce. Last year, just 9 jobs awaited every 10 of the 381,000 students graduating and looking for work, with the most coveted positions with the likes of Toyota or Nomura even more scarce. Unemployment in Japan currently stands at 4.2%.
Absolutely interesting, and novel pictures right from Japan, and I think it's fantastic that the youth are getting involved in something like unemployment and not bothering about the fact that other people are not getting them jobs, but taking it hands-on and taking the hiring to themselves. And it's a bulk hiring scenario where the pressure is on the companies to hire. It's not the pressure for the people to find a job, and that's absolutely interesting. And of course, if I was spurred on by a cheerlead every morning to go and get a job, I certainly would do so, and I would understand how those boys were certainly very, very enthusiastic about what they did. And fantastic story there, and how the Japanese young have come across this. And just to wrap up, and again remind about this discussion we had from on the 23rd of February. I hope you do make your way. And with that, on this Wednesday morning, we will wrap up on Good Morning Sri Lanka. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow as well. See you then.